guys have talent. He said you were trolling. You were speaking your truth. Hell no, bro. I was trolling, man. And I know people didn't even read my comment because because they knew I was trolling. And it's funny, because it's like to me, it's like, why do we defend these coaches like they're the fucking messiah? They're the like top of the top, fucking best coach you have ever seen in your entire life. You guys want to know a fucking funny stat about this coaching staff, right? Specifically McDaniels that everybody always talks about, right? He got fired in Denver after losing 17 games out of 28. Guess how many losses and games he's played for the Raiders? Just anybody got a guess? Remember, in Denver, he got fired after losing 17 games out of 28 games that he was there. I'm giving it 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. He's lost 16 games in 25 games. One less loss than he did in Denver, and he played 3 less games so far. Coached 3 less games. And who knows at this point? I don't even know what the I don't respectfully look. To me, Jimmy Garoppolo's having his worst statistical year of his career. Derek Carr had one of his worst statistical years under McDaniels. Stidham got shipped so quick because he didn't like the way Stidham played. Brian Hoyer was absolutely horrendous again. All these quarterbacks have been bad under McDaniels, right? And we could go down to the Denver Broncos and talk about their quarterbacks. I mean, at the end of the day, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady kept this motherfucker in check. And that's a fact. Now, another thing, right? You lost to Jeff Saturday on a 2-day notice. I guess that's the player's fault, right? You lost to a Rams team that had Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield on a 3-day notice. That just got the playbook. I guess that's the player's fault as well. You lost the most you gave up. How do I say it? You gave the most comeback wins to any opponent every single multiple times. I guess that's the that's the player's fault, right? You score 28 and then you choke it. That's cute, right? Um, let's keep going. You also kick a field goal. I mean, you kick a field goal, you get a flag, you get a first down, you waste 2 more minutes, and then you don't go for it on fourth and go, and you kick the same field goal you would have done 2 minutes ago, and then on top of that, you go for it on 4th and 10 against the Detroit Lions. So make that make sense. Why didn't you go on it for fourth and go, but you went for it on 4th and 10? And it was a little dink and dunk pass. Why are we defending this goddamn coach, bro? I don't get it. I know the players fucking suck. Jimmy Garoppolo's horrendous. But why defend? We're defending the coach like he's the fucking like he ain't the problem, bro. But go ahead, Twan. I went a little bit
It,
more relaxed on it.
it is one of those things where I keep kind of scratching my head at, you know, we brought in these guys, to correct what our offense was going through. And you know that might be something we might have to do, me and you, offline, or something, and cook that up for everybody else in the nation. But to look at what our offense was before and to what it is now, and all you have to do is kind of look at it. You can go from last year to this year and look at where our offense has changed, and what was that change. On paper, our offense was supposed to be better this year, but it hasn't. And again, we're talking about, yes, that's on paper, and you might be like, oh yeah, they're paper champs. Yeah, we look amazing on paper offensively. You're not gonna you're looking at what our offensive line last year was, what, Everybody was talking about our offensive line was ranked 12th or whatever. Then we get a star wide receiver, a number one on the other side, you know, and we understood what Hunter Renfrow could bring to the table, and it's non-existent. And to be honest with you, I this organization is not stupid. Like, and this is just, again, this is my interpretation. I felt like all the love that Renfrow was getting last on Monday was really just trying to shop him around. They were really trying to give Renfrow looks throughout the game, just to kind of maybe right now he's a 6th round, but maybe if he catches a few balls, he might go up to a 5th or 4th round. And it's too late. It's too late. You should have been, if you were really trying to shop Renfrow and get Renfrow out of here, you should have been using him all through preseason, all through, you know what I'm saying? We should have had some plays set up for Renfrow if you was trying to shop him, because everybody in the league now knows. I mean, everybody in the league knew that the writing was on the wall with Renfrow. So are they going to want to give up value to get Renfrow? No, they're just going to wait. They're just going to wait till you release him. And again, there goes another, and that's my issue. Not with McDaniels, but there goes my issue with Ziegler, of the value of the players that are walking out of the door with this team. Tell me a player that's walked out the door that we've got equal value for. I'll wait under Ziegler. I'll wait. Please tell me a player that walked out the door and we got good value for them. And that's on Ziegler. As much as we want to talk good about Ziegler and Ziegler's good, and yeah, there is some positive things that Ziegler has done, but there's some things that Ziegler needs to get better at, and that's one of them. Especially if we're in a position where we need to build this team, because it's not a complete team. So if we're trying to build this team, we need to try to get as much capital as we can. Yep. So it's week 8, and we're already. I'm really debating about doing mock drafts. I'm really debating, and I was joking about it. You know what I'm saying? Week 1, but we're halfway there, and I'm already like, man, maybe I do need to start looking.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody at Earn in the building. It was good. DeMarcus Webb was good. Good to see everybody, man. Let me just, if anybody didn't, hear me earlier, right? For the people that are defending, the coach, specifically, and you want to see a visual, I got a visual for you too. You see right here, this is the resume of Josh McDaniels as a Raider right here. Blown 5 double-digit leads, lost to a high school coach, lost to Baker Mayfield when he was traded the Rams 3 days prior, lost to a Division II quarterback, and failed to score 20 points offensively in 9 of his last 10 games. There's his resume. Good resume, right? That's the player's fault, right? Them double-digit leads, that defense is goddamn garbage, huh? That defense was garbage. The offense is garbage for not scoring any more points. They should have scored 50 points. That was some bullshit. Lost to a high school coach. It's okay. He won a championship in high school. It's okay. He's a good high school coach. He's an excellent high school coach. It's not like that's the same coach that went on a 7-game losing streak after us. That's not the guy, right? And then Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's a superstar, man. He's a superstar. It's not like it's not like they had they had Cooper Cup and Aaron Donald in that game. Oh wait, they fucking didn't. If anybody didn't know, they didn't have Cooper Cup or Aaron Donald on that team, and they also didn't have that Puka guy that they have this year. By the way, lost to a Division 2 quarterback. Hey, it's okay. He won a championship in Division 2. It's not like he had a horrible touchdown interception ratio. It's okay. It's only Division 2, right? It's not Division 3. And then failed to score 20 points offensively in 9 of his last games. Nah, you know what? It's the offensive line's fault, right? It's the offensive line fault. It's fucking horrendous. It's not like they were like top 10 or top 15 to a lot of people's eyes last year. And it's not the same players, right? They don't, Van Rodden is absolutely garbage, even though he was the highest graded guard last week, technically yesterday. He's garbage. That right side is horrible. It's not like Jimmy G was rolling all the way to his right, wide open, and he missed there somebody wide open. Oh wait, yeah, he did. Um, and it's not like this team was 20. I believe we were like 18th, 17th in offense last year, something around that range. And now we're like we're literally the worst offense in the NFL. And it's not like we wasted 100+ million on it, right? We just got Jacoby Myers to add to the mix, right? We got Michael Mayer, right? That's somebody that stays healthy. It's not like we got better, right? It's not, these guys are garbage.
I don't know how many times you got to hit the wall to know that the wall is hard. And what I mean by that is even if you want to say our offensive line is trash, that means you need to get the ball out quick. Are we doing quick passes? No.
I wonder whose fault that is.
And then, like, even with that being said, if we're not doing quick passes, then what are we doing? We're doing long passes. And guess who's bad at long passes? Our freaking quarterback. So why are we hitting the wall over and over and over again and not realizing that it's not freaking, that is hard? What is, like, it's almost like, they like that insurance commercial. Even a caveman can do it. Like, even a caveman can realize, hey, maybe I shouldn't, do this. And golly, our running game was actually working.
And you went away from it.
Our running game was working. And what do we do? That's the frustration. And who is to blame? Who is the straw that stirs the drink? I'll let you guys answer that.
Shout out to No Cover Jesse says Renfro equals ass. In my opinion, he has one good year and we act like he's the best slot wide receiver. Only reason he had one good year was because he had no number one wide receiver or number two, in my opinion. Now, if he did that without a number one, number two, he's got a number one, number two now. So what's the excuse for him not performing? Why are we waiting till now to start hitting him or to start designing plays for him? The whole point is this, right? And I got a counter to everybody that calls these players trash, right? Okay, let's think about the quarterback, right? Jimmy Garoppolo, for instance, right? Why was he so successful in the Niners, right? Can we all let's just go back to the 49ers, right? When they made their Super Bowl run, they had a run game, right? Correct. They had a pretty good O line. They just got Orlando Brown or whatever his name is. They also didn't have the flashiest of receivers except for Debo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk was okay. To me, he's still okay. He's not the best receiver. George Kittle was injured prone. Like, he got injured here and there, missed a couple games. But
Mm-hmm.
they still use their tight end a lot. I forgot their backup tight end at the thing, and they had a really good defense, right? And Jimmy Garoppolo didn't really have to throw it deep. Like all he had to do was throw short passes, and the wide receivers did everything, right? Let's think of the Packers, right? If you go back to Devontae Adams' film in the Green Bay Packers, his most successful, well, obviously he was really good in the outside, really good in the outside. He's good at the 50-50 balls. He has hands and everything. But he was really good in the slot. The yards after catch, the slant movement, his ability to get open quick was him. Now, same thing with Renfro and Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers. Believe it or not, they've had a 2.8 seconds separation every single time. So it's not like they're not getting open, right? And you would say, hey, why isn't the quarterback hitting them? For some reason, Jimmy Garoppolo continues to go deep, and it doesn't make any sense. You know, he continues to go deep. He misses those throws, and it makes me wonder if the play is designed for deep balls. Because if you look at your screen right here, I don't have the official video, but this is the same video where he threw it deep and threw it out of bounds. Right? He threw it out of bounds to the right. I think he threw it out of bounds, or I think he threw it to the left and missed somebody completely. Now, if you tell me, right, that Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy Garoppolo here just doesn't have the IQ. If he was in the Niners, he would have made this play right here. He would have get it to the running back right here, coming across the middle. Now, that's why I don't get, right? And same thing with Carr, right? Carr had chances like this, and he failed them too. You know, he tried doing a sidearm, he tried going deep, and it makes me wonder if that's what the play design is. If the play is designed for the deep ball and is designed for these medium routes, which makes doesn't make sense for a quarterback that doesn't have the ability to make those throws. And that falls on the coach to put this guy in positions to make the play, right? Now, it was the same thing with Stidham. It was the same thing with Hoyer, which we already knew Hoyer was fucking absolute garbage. The guy hasn't won a game in 13 starts, so I'm not gonna even bring him up. But Derek Carr, right? Why did he keep making one reads and just looking at one guy the whole time? And now with the Saints, he's been looking everywhere. Yeah, he's been up and down for the Saints, but he's been looking everywhere. Like it's not like he was just targeting one receiver either. So now it makes me wonder if the play design is to throw it deep or to throw it to the guys in the back. You know, if and it makes me even more mad that Ziggler didn't make a move today. That pissed me off. And people may say, hey, Eric, like the Raiders are losing anyways. Like, there's no point of going out there and making your team better. Well, the Bears did. They got Montez Sweat for a second round pick. And they're literally, I think, the same record as us, if I'm not mistaken. And they got Tyson Baggett as their fucking quarterback. Why are they trying to get better when we know their season's practically over shit over there in Chicago? And they got him for a second round pick. They got Montez Sweat for a second. And don't even get me started on the Niners. They got fucking Chase Young for a bag of fucking popcorn. Probably some of Twan's brown crackers that he got on the fucking in his pantry, bro. That's what the Niners got Chase Young for.
Hey, nah. Brown crackers are valuable. Don't discredit it. Hey, but still, like, no, I agree with everything you're saying, man. Like, they got a low third. let's just be honest. That is a low third. That ain't a that ain't gonna be a high third. That's a low third for Chase Young.
Yep,
and
exactly.
and
And
and here we go every year. Trade deadline comes around and we don't do anything. It,
Mhm.
it, it I love the day when it comes up, but at the same time, I hate the day because I know my team doesn't do anything.
Mhm.
When's the last time we were really buyers at the trade deadline?
Mhm.
Or even, or let me say this: when's the last time we've been sellers? Like, we, no, nobody wants what we have, and it seems like we can't get anything. So it is one of those days. Just like just comes and goes.
Mhm. Mhm. And he says young for a third round pick, shaking my fucking head. Yeah, facts. Fuck Carr. He's still trash. He is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, though. I'll tell you that. Greg Lira was good. Here's my problem too. The quarterback choice was Josh McDaniels. Yeah, his first choice was Tom Brady, but it was his choice. And nobody could debate me that Carr ain't better than Jimmy G. Nobody could debate me that, bro. I've been saying this, bro, and I know people call me car lovers. I don't give a fuck. Like at the end of the day, I'm not gonna put on a Saints jersey and root for them. Fuck no, I would never do that in my entire life. So don't even get me started on that. But I will tell you that Carr is a better quarterback than Jimmy G. If you were gonna get rid of Carr, you had to get an upgrade. Not no, oh, Tom Brady was our first choice and Aaron Rodgers was our second, so we had to resort to Jimmy G. You didn't have to resort to Jimmy G. You didn't have to. If you're so much of a fucking oh my god, you're a six-time championship. Anybody wants to play for you. Blah blah blah. Ziggler's a mastermind. You would have grabbed the quarterback that is better than both quarterbacks, but you didn't. You have a horrible relationship with Adams. You have a horrible relationship with Josh Jacobs. You have a horrible relationship with Derek Carr, but it's the player's fault.
Oh, speaking of Josh Jacobs,
Go
can
ahead.
I burst your guys'
Yeah,
bubble?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Josh Jacobs is leaving,
He's not a Raider next year. I'll
and
bet
guess
money
what?
on it.
And guess what? We didn't get anything out of it. There goes another talented player walking out the door, and we're not getting anything for it. Remember, he got the franchise, so he's only under contract for 1 year. He's out the door. He is he's supposed to be a piece of this offense, right? A huge piece of this offense. And when he was asked, what can we do to fix this offense? What did he say? Ain't my fault. Ain't my concern. Ain't my job. He's checked out, ladies and gentlemen. So there goes there add that name to the list of talent that walked out the door, one, and what are we getting in return? Not a dang thing. Number one pick, number round, no, no, first rounder, walking out the door, getting nothing back.
Hmm. He said we should have stick with Stidham instead of wasting our money on Jimmy G. McDaniel should get fined for all this bullshit. Only 2 winning seasons. The nightmare of McDaniel's. Definitely Jesse. You're right. The car is better than Jimmy G. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm mad because it's like I get it. Carr ain't a good quarterback. I mean, he didn't look good under McDaniel's. And I said this even when he was still a Raider. I was like, it's time for him to move on. It's time for him to leave. He needs a fresh start, and we need a fresh start at quarterback. And I said this time and time again. So nobody could say I didn't want him gone. I did. I thought it was the right decision to both. But if you were gonna make that move, You had to get better in that position. You brought in your quarterback. Even Hondo Carpenter called you out, McDaniels. He said your quarterback, and you sat there like a. Ooh, I was gonna say something, bro. I don't want to get canceled, bro. But you sat there like a pretty little girl, and you were just like, yeah.
And Carr had an excuse. Can we be honest? That was his first time first in the McDaniel system. So yeah, there was going to be some ups and downs in trying to figure that out. But when again, Hondo said it, we've said it before. When Jimmy G got signed, was like, oh, this is his guy. He should know this offense. We should be seeing some new things out of this offense. The training wheels should be coming off of this offense. Because again, we were coming from a quarterback that was trying to get used to McDaniel's system versus someone that's already been in this system. To see pretty much the same thing that we saw, as if and I've said it before. We've had 4 quarterbacks, probably more than that, but we've had 4 quarterbacks go through this system, and why do they all look the same?
SC almost went full Xbox 360 Call out. I was, bro. It irritates me, bro. And when he says it is what it is, and 50% of the time, it pisses me off, bro. Because it's like, bro, like just admit it. Just admit it. Like it's one thing if you take accountability, and I even said this before. I love it when people take accountability. But even today in the presser, Josh McDaniels threw the players again under the bus, and it pisses me off because it's his fault, bro. It's his fault too. He's got part in this. It's not only the players. That's what pisses me off about people. People are fucking giving Josh McDaniels a pass. He doesn't get a fucking pass, bro. He doesn't. He doesn't. These players don't get a pass. These fucking coaches don't get a pass. These coaches and Ziegler pick these guys. These are his guys, so nobody can say these are not his guys. Last year, he didn't have his guys, apparently. He didn't have no fucking talent. Now you got talent, and now the excuse is Jimmy G is garbage. When these are the same people that said Jimmy G was amazing. These are the same people that say Jimmy G. You know what? I'm not holding back. Fuck this, bro. Jimmy G is a winning quarterback. He's better than Carr. He's this, that, and the third. And now he's garbage. He's not good. He sucks. Oh my God, he's horrible. He's worse than Carr. Blah blah blah. Da 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 da.
No, they won't. No, don't say that, Eric. Because you know what? They won't say he's worse than Carr. They still won't say that.
This shit's ridiculous.
If you're talking about those individuals, I'm not. There's not a name I can put on it, but there's a class of people that still can't admit that the guy that left is is better than the guy that we have right now. So I was doing my dance because I was singing the Raiders' favorite song in my head, but I don't want to go to karaoke this early in the show.
I just want to show you guys something, bro.
But the wheels on the bus go round and round.
I just want you to marinate that, bro. I just want you guys to marinate that, bro. I would have never thought I would see the day that somebody was worse than Jamarcus Russell, bro. In his first 6 starts. I'm just learning you guys marinate that, bro. I just I don't even know what to say. Oh my god. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I think we're drafting a quarterback next year, bro.
I I I'm glad that you've come to that realization because I've been saying this. I've been saying that no matter what, we still needed to draft a quarterback. We should have
Drafting
drafted
a
a
quarterback.
quarterback higher than what we drafted. You know what I'm saying, Aiden O'Connell. But if we're trying to move anything forward, we have to draft a quarterback. But my concern and my worry is, do I really trust this group to draft a quarterback?
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. There's no way they fuck it up next year, bro. There's no like it doesn't take a 6-year-old to look at these quarterbacks from college and say who's good, who's not, who will look good in the system, who won't. Because I'm telling you right now, there's at least 6 quarterbacks that are first round talents, bro.
Because
Walking next year.
and I'm with you. There's a whole big class of quarterbacks that are talented in this upcoming draft. But my question is, and my concern is, because everybody was talking about Caleb Williams, and we're not getting a Caleb Williams.
Oh, I'm not.
Just,
Yeah, yeah,
just,
yeah.
just hypothetically, if we were able to land Caleb Williams, he wouldn't play.
I'm
He
a
would.
yeah.
He would. And I'm not gonna say he wouldn't play, but I'm just saying he wouldn't play like what we're seeing at him at SC. I think he would decline. Unfortunately, under these guys.
He said, was it McDaniel's fault we couldn't fucking draft Carter because Henry Ruggs fuck up Gruden's boy? What does that matter? What does Jalen Carter have to do with Henry Ruggs? Jalen Carter was on the board when we were picking. What are you talking about, bro? He was on the board when we were picking. And now Tyree Wilson is injured again, by the way, y'all. So,
Who?
um, Tyree Wilson, he's injured again. We knew he was injury prone. I don't know why they chose him. That was the main reason why I didn't want to get him. And then people are saying like Jalen Carter has a lot of help in Philadelphia. You understand he's been getting double teams and he's been getting through it. You understand when you watch the Eagles play, he literally is the reason why the other guys around him are eating, and he's still eating. They didn't want to draft him because of Ruggs' mistakes. SC. That what? Huh? Ruggs' mistake was his fault, bro. That was his personal fault. Jalen Carter is in Philadelphia. If you don't think Philadelphia is crazy, then I don't know what to tell you. He's
I
in
don't think.
Philly.
Well,
He's in
I,
Philly. Go ahead.
this organization didn't come out and say that was the case. I think that was everybody on YouTube and everybody else trying to make the comparison that, oh no, they're not going to draft because it's too close to, or it's close to what happened with Ruggs. I I I just think this organization was looking, they weren't even looking past. They had their eyes stuck on Tyree and that was it.
Hmm. And he said, and by the way, y'all, I'm not on the Caleb Williams train anymore.
Not it,
I'm a USC fan, and I like Caleb Williams, and I still like him. He's my USC quarterback. He's our quarterback over here in college football. But he's been bad against good teams, and I'm not taking that. I'd rather get Bo Nix or Michael Penix, bro. I respectfully, those two guys are on my list. I'm just throwing that out there now. I'm not doing mock drafts yet, but I'll tell you right now, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, those two guys could ball out, man. Those two guys are good, man. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say about that. But he said, and Arnett mistakes too. You know what's for crazy? You know what's so crazy about it? Even with Arnett's mistakes, Ruggs' mistakes, that same team made the playoffs in 2021. Now, before anybody says, "Oh, they got lucky," you don't get lucky making the playoffs, bro. Yeah, things went our way. People lost. People lost for us. The teams that needed to lose lost against us, or lost in general, right? Lost in general to make us slip into the playoffs. But we won the games that were ahead of us. We beat teams that we weren't supposed to beat. Why? Because the team had our heart and they played for the coach, and they showed effort. Did anybody show effort against Chicago? Did anybody show really effort besides a few players against the Lions?
It's cited. It's really cited. Like if you really sit back, you're watching two teams on one team.
Mm-hmm.
Because the defense, they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not saying they're I'm not saying they're the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, but they out there trying to get it. I think even with we were talking about the Olay by Marcus Peters. I think certain things are starting to brew in the sense of I think he was banged up, and I think he was just you know he had to make a business decision. It was like, nah, I ain't gonna, because again, he had back problems coming out, last week, and then he got cramps and all that other stuff. So there was a lot of things that were going on with Peters, but not trying to go into that rabbit hole. But the defense is fighting for. I'll say it like this: they're fighting for ground. You know, but that offensive side of the ball, I don't know if they smell what the Rock is cooking. You know what I'm saying? In regards to what Ziegler is, I mean not Ziegler, but McDaniels is preaching. What was said in that meeting?
Probably, hey, let's get our shit together. Hey, let's go out against the Lions and perform. Yeah, yeah, team, yeah. And then yeah, you seen what happened, right? He said Bo Nix isn't an NFL caliber QB fool's gold. You don't like Bo Nix? I like Bo Nix. I like Michael Penix. I like Michael Penix a lot. But I'm not gonna get into college talk until later on. You know me. He says all of a sudden it's a team. Yeah, I know, right? People are saying now don't blame one person, like right here. You already knows to stop bashing one man's shit's sick already. You know what's sick? Bashing the players every year, and letting go of talent because they're not good.
Especially when this coaching staff is supposed to make them good.
They were preaching it. That's
They
why
were
I'm mad. They were preaching it.
they came in and said that they were teachers. So what have you been teaching? Now I will give credit to Graham, because that defense that Graham is running, that's not the defense that he likes to really run. You know, but he's made adjustments based on what he has, and you can't tell me that this defense, especially last week, in regards to these lives is titled, 3 turnovers, 1 pick six. That ain't good for a winning game.
I'll say this, right? I'm gonna start blaming the players because people want to hear it, right? That's all I've been hearing, anyways. That's the reason why we're mainly sticking on Josh McDaniels because, uh, literally every show I've clicked on so far has blamed the players and
Hmm.
has been defending the coach, and that's why I'm on the other team, right? The other side, right? And like I said, I'll hop on a panel with anybody and debate it. I could sit here for hours if I wanted to, but I will say this: these some of these players lack talent and they lack focus. and that's a fact, right? Jimmy
Mhm.
Garoppolo, we knew he wasn't the best of quarterbacks to some of us, right? But to everybody else, he was a winner. And now that he's garbage, everybody's seeing the truth. But the thing is, Jimmy Garoppolo needs to be used a certain way. He's not being used that way, and that falls on the coaching staff. Now that's his quarterback at the end of the day. Nobody could say Carr was his quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo was his quarterback. Just like Tom Brady would have been his quarterback, Aaron Rodgers would have been quarterback. All his plan A and plan B would have been his quarterback. And exactly what Kulkev said, who picked him, right? Now Josh Jacobs, right? You could have easily, you're such a guru, and this falls on Ziggler. You're such a guru in giving contracts. Why don't you give a good one to Josh Jacobs so he could have been at practice since the start? He could have been in the off season getting ready, so then he wouldn't be rusty in the first few games, and he would have been familiar with the offensive line. Why is one of the best offensive linemen coach in Carmen Brasillo? Why is this offensive line not as good as everybody thought it was like last year? Last year the offensive line was amazing. Now this year it's garbage, but it's the same people except for one person, and that one person was the highest graded guard last week for us. Oh, yesterday, I mean, yesterday for us. So to me, uh, these players don't lack talent. I think they lack. I think they're not lacking talent. I think the main thing is they're lacking effort and they're lacking motivation. And that falls on the coaching staff. And yeah, people say, hey, and I always give advice to people too, right? Some of my friends, right, when they need it, I tell them, hey, sometimes you got to motivate yourself. You don't need the people around you, you know. But at a certain extent, that motivation falls a little, when things keep happening in the wrongest of ways. And that's why you put your trust in whatever you believe in. Me, I, I'm a follower, and a follower of God, and Twan is too, and I always, when I'm low, I always put it on, I always pray that things get better and that I need the motivation I need, and then it gives me motivation, it gives me that thing, sometimes you need someone to lead you in the way that you need to be led, and it's the same way with coachings lead people into ways. If you guys didn't see the way Max Crosby hugged Basaccia when we played the Packers, that's not a normal hug of "Hey, nice to see you." It
Fact.
was "Hey,
Facts.
I miss you."
For
That's not
real.
and nobody could tell me. And if you ever hugged somebody, you would realize that hug wasn't like "Hey, a good game, peace out." It was "Hey, I miss you." And to me, I feel like, in all honesty, the players have fallen into, and I'm gonna keep saying it, right? And I want people to clip it so they don't say I'm only blaming Josh McDaniel. The players, some of them are not playing at their highest potential. But why aren't they? The question, there's a deeper root into it. Why aren't they playing in their highest potential? Why are they lacking motivation and effort, right? That's the problem. And it's Josh McDaniels. And everybody bashed me. Jesse says I don't do hugs. Uh, remember when Brandon Marshall came out and said that he talked about lack of motivation, that Josh McDaniel not a leader of men, and when I brought it up, people said that Brandon Marshall is just hating. It's happening again. People are lacking effort, right? That's the number one thing. People are not showing effort. They're lacking motivation to win the game. People are playing horrible, not at their full potential. Now, why do you think that, right? You know what's crazy about Rich Bisaccia? He might I seen some Packer channels and some Packer Twitter, that pops up in my feed because I follow the NFL in general. Uh that Rich Bisaccia could be the head coach by next week for the Packers. That he's a potential candidate if they let go of their head coach. You know that, right? And yeah, he's not a head coach. He doesn't know how to really like make game time decisions, right? Game making decisions, right? But if there's one thing he's got over Josh McDaniels, is that he was a leader of men. He motivated these guys. And you've seen everybody play for him. And you play in these players, and you cannot say that team was more talented than this team. this team was more talented than that team. But why is this team playing worse than that team? Just a question, right? But like I said, the players don't get an excuse either. At the end of the day, you put on that silver and black and you need to go out there and perform. And Jimmy G, you ain't performing, bro. You're better than that and you ain't doing it. Now, like I said, there could be a possibility if it's the coordinator's fault, for making you look at certain reads. But at the end of the day, you're a quarterback and you need to make some adjustments and you need to speak out. And you need to say, hey, this ain't working. Hey, I need to do this. I need to do that. Fuck all that yes man shit. Do your own thing and that falls on you. Hunter Renfro, sucks to say, bro. Like, I know you have talent within you. And yeah, you had a really good season before, but at the end of the day, it wasn't consistent, and we just got to look at that numbers and all that consistency. And it may not be all your fault, but at the end of the day, Josh McDaniels ain't using you, man. And it sucks because I would have been using you because you're a vital thing to this whole game plan, but you just have to go. Yeah, it is, Terrence. Yeah, it is, Terrence. Two channels, two channels, two channels. Um, Raider Twuan channel too. That's why you can't see some of the comments if you're wondering. So yeah. Uh, but yeah, and on honesty, I just think that things need to change, and nothing changed this morning. I thought things were gonna change today, right? If you thought the players were garbage, you would have you would have executed something, at least something, or pulled the trigger on somebody to get your team better. If
Oh
the
my
Chicago
God.
Bears could do it, you could do it.
That you just said something that kind of put that that light bulb in my head. It's like,
Hmm.
if these players are so bad, what did you do to improve it? So, are you saying that they're bad, but in reality they're not?
He said it earlier. He answered that question. He said the problem is not. He practically said like the problem is not getting better or getting any person from the trade. He said the problem is the players' fundamentals. So practically blaming the players for their fundamentals.
So the fundamentals are coached in practice by, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said coach because I just gave it away. What do you do in practice? You do drills. What are those drills? Those drills are reinforcements to the fundamentals that you need in the game. You practice tackling. You practice catching the ball. Why? Because you're going to need that in whatever play that you're going to do on a Sunday
Shots
or
wild turkey.
Thursday or Monday or whenever we play. So, but it's not coaching. It's not. It's not coaching. Coaching has nothing to do with how we're playing. I get it.
He said, and people thought Jimmy was the second coming of Plunkett. I remember when I said that was disrespect. I remember when I called that out on the live, and I was like, "That's disrespectful." Cause y'all see behind me, right? Like to my over here, to my right. These are my favorite players before my time. Both of these guys. There's a reason why I have both of their signed jerseys right here. Pure signed. By the way, to anybody that didn't know, straight out of them. There's a reason why these guys are my favorite players, man. And I always said Plunkett. Yes, his touchdown to interception ratio wasn't the best. That's obvious, right? But if there's one thing for sure, him in the playoffs and him in the Super Bowl, he had that leadership as a player and made the team around him better. Jimmy G ain't a leader, bro. He's a yes man to Josh McDaniels. That's all he is. And Josh McDaniels, at the end of the day, Josh McDaniels, you can only control certain things. There is plays where Jimmy didn't execute the throw. The throw to Devontae Adams, that's on Jimmy G. That's on the player. So that's why I said I also partially blame, but I 25% blame the players and I 75% blame the coaching staff.
That throw to Da You know what I'm saying? I was really pissed off because I was like, why is he throwing into double coverage? He still could have threw that ball, but he should have threw it to the um, back pylon, you know, area of the end zone, and then that in that way, even if the defender could have recovered, Da would have been able to box him out and still be able to catch the ball in the end zone. But that ball wasn't even close to um, getting to the back of the end zone. That ball was kind of in the front part of the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like the front half of the end zone. So
Yep.
Jimmy G threw a short ball
Hmm.
into double coverage, and of course that was getting picked off.
Yeah, and he says it can't be Coach McDaniel. That's six strings at LC. That's a fact. That's what people use. Jimmy doesn't have an arm to do it. You know what's crazy, all lies about that throw to Devontae? He had an arm right there. Like he got it there, but his accuracy when it comes to the deep ball, it's either he underthrows it, overthrows it. His deep accuracy has never been good, and you've seen it again against the who was it? Who was it? Who was it? Was it the Rams? Oh my god, I can't remember. I think it was against the Rams. He threw it deep into double coverage, and they picked it off, and they made it to the Super Bowl. I think it was that one. I think it was that one. And then against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I believe
Yeah,
he could there. When
I know.
they
I
when you
know the
have to
Chiefs
rely on
won
his
in the
arm,
Super Bowl.
yeah, when you have to rely on Jimmy's arm, that's when you get him. And you seen it. They accommodated for the deep ball until the last play of the game, right? They accommodated for the deep ball. They played back. They put a bunch of people in the box and they tried preventing the run and the short passes, and they did exactly that. They executed the game plan, and look at it, the 7 points accommodates to the Detroit Lions game plan, and we
And
didn't adjust. We didn't take Jimmy G out even when he got hurt. He got hurt in the game.
and in that same play that we're talking about, that interception, that double coverage interception that he was trying to throw to Da in the end zone. Don't I advise you, don't look at who was open in the slot. Don't go back and look at tape, and if he instead of looking to the right, if he would have looked to his next option in the left, who was behind the linebacker and wide open.
And that's why I blame partially the 25% on Jimmy for not looking there, And like I said, I don't know the deep roots of it. If it is the coaching that has the play developed like that, hey, go hit this guy only. But that I'm not gonna assume until I get a confirmation, right?
But that's
Um,
but that's
go ahead.
but I'm sorry, Eric.
Mhm.
I know that's Da, and like I said, hey, if you can throw a ball to Da and you can get a jump ball, I know Da is gonna come down with it. But that was a bad thrown ball. Okay, that's one. But do the math. One person's double covered. So that means somebody is single covered.
It's single cover.
So am I going to throw it in double coverage, or am I going to throw it in single coverage?
And that's the player. That's that falls on Jimmy on that note, right?
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is like, like I said, there might be deeper routes, right? Because it's weird that he's making the same mistakes that Carr did when the one read happened. Just the only difference is it was mostly to Adams at the time. But when you look at it and when you look deep into it, it sucks that this season went the way it is because we have so much talent on the team. We do. Nobody can say we don't have talent on the team. This team is talented to be 32nd in offense. It's way too talented to be even there. I would have understood if it was like the 21st or 15 or 14, but it isn't. So for me, I feel like they might. I think it's a quarterback in the draft next year, and I think it's a corner. I think those are the two vital things. He said you guys are talking about DBs and wide receivers, but overlooking the two DTs in his face. Jimmy did have a terrible game. The two DTs in his face, and I'm glad you're here, Gravy, because I know you're on the opposite end of more of Josh McDaniels' defense. And um, here's my question to you, right? So you said two DTs in his face, right? Obviously, yeah, that happened, right? They even hit him in the practically near the end zone, right, where he got injured and he was walking it off, right? But now, whose fault is it when the times he didn't get people in his face? And I'm gonna show you one in particular, right? Because we're talking about plays here, right? And I, this one is a picture, and this is the same one where he threw it out, right? People like to blame the offensive line a lot, but I mean, to me, that seems like that seems like a clean pocket to me. You feel me? There's three Lion players that are down. That that guy in the middle, he can't even catch up to him, and he's got all the time, and he's got that guy right there, right? Obviously, right, and that's Jimmy G's fault. That's a quarterback issue there, right? But there's times where the offensive line protected well, and I seen plays being called that weren't executed obviously by the quarterback, but there was also plays where they went away from the run. The run game started going, and that has to fall on the coaching, right? The coaching prepares these guys. This is basic football. This is football at 2 years old. So to me, when it comes to the coaching, right, and this is where it falls back on the coaching, is getting these guys prepared on the same page, and nobody looks like on the same page. Nobody does, right? They just had a meeting, and apparently that meeting didn't mean shit. And then time again, Jimmy G, even when he got hurt and he was limping, he still had kept them at the starting position. That's Josh McDaniels' fault. If Jimmy G ain't getting it done, why stick with him throughout the whole game, the whole fourth quarters? That's that's the coach's decision. And that's what frustrates me. It falls back on the coaching. Just because you don't believe in Aiden O'Connell, that's crazy to me. Just like you don't believe in none of these players. You say that this is the problem with Josh McDaniels and why some people don't do effort. Why they don't show effort. Why this team looks so lackluster is because nobody is leading them. And yes, the captains are supposed to do that. But when the captains lose motivation, there's one person that should be leading these guys and make them play for something. And that's the coaching. Rich Bisaccia did that. And I know people are going to be like, Rich Bisaccia wasn't a head coach. You're right. But he led these guys. He made these guys look better than what they were. This team is more talented than that 2021 team, and nobody could tell me otherwise. That playoff team, that fluke that everybody says, we had more talent. This team has more talent than that team, way more talent than that team. But why? Why are these guys showing no effort? Why are these guys looking horrible? Why are these guys lackluster? Why every single week they look like they don't want to go out there and play, especially on the offensive side of the ball? Why do these guys look so bad when they all have talent? They all have talent. This is a better talented team than before. It's the coaching. Nobody wants to play for this coach, and it's obvious. Yes, Max Crosby, maybe. There's some player. You know what? I will say that some of the players do want to play for the coach. You see Max Crosby every single game out there, he's performing. Every single game he's out there performing. Devontae Adams is performing, he's getting open. But the preparation for these games are horrible. You go against Chicago, a Division II quarterback, and you look absolutely garbage. You have Marcus Peters barely even making a tackle, don't even want to be out there playing. And yeah, he's old as shit, and I will admit that. But best believe the guy has talent. He never, even when he's been garbage in his career, he still got up there, made plays, and talked shit after it. Why are these guys showing no effort, and why is the preparation horrible every single week? And it's the same thing in the press conference. It's the same thing in the press conference. Oh, it's the players' fault. It's practically the players' fault. Why wasn't Aiden O'Connell the starting quarterback? It's not preseason. Why didn't you make any trades? It's not the play. It's not the talent. It's the fundamentals. Practically blaming the players. Who runs drills to make these fundamentals better to get them prepared for every single game? The Steelers game was a winnable game. We lost it. The 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 Steelers game was on Josh McDaniels. You get a field goal, you get a first down because of the flag, and then you run 2 minutes of offense, and then you, instead of going for it on 4th and 1, I believe, or 4th and goal, I forgot which one it was, you kicked the same field goal you would have kicked 2 minutes ago. That's the coaching. That's the coaching decision. The preparation is on the coaching. And that's why I said all these players look garbage because they're not even prepared. And you can see the unpreparation. Who does that fall to? And now somebody said, bring in the overhead. I'm glad you said that because here you go. Oh, shit. Hold on. Where is it? Here you go.
Sometimes things just don't work out. It was after a short period of time that I realized I didn't hire the person I thought I was hiring. And there are reasons which I could go into, but I thought what I would do is bring you up to the period of time right now when this morning I called Lane and told him that he no longer is the head coach of the Oakland Raiders, and I'm dismissing him with cause, and that I just couldn't go on much longer with the what I would call propaganda, the lying that had been going on for weeks and months and a year and time. And he had a few questions. He says, does that mean I don't get paid? I said, that's what I'm saying to you. I said, I warned you.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Al Davis. But I'm going to tell you right now, Mark Davis will never do that. You know why? Because he knows if Josh McDaniels doesn't work out, Mark Davis's head is on a fucking silver platter for all of us. That's why he won't say yes. That's why he won't fire McDaniels, because this is his guy. This is who Mark Davis wanted. And at the end of the day, yes, trust the process. Fuck it. We're going to wait 3 years. That's the time frame that everybody's giving. 3 years? Fuck it. We're giving it 3 years. It should have never even been 3 years in the first place. Because at the end of the day, you have talent on this team to make the playoffs, and you're not executing it. Yes, the players are at fault. Some of the players are at fault. But the coach prepares this fucking team. This coach, the decisions, we could have been, what's our fucking record right now? I can't even think right now. What's our record right now? Like 3-5?
3-5.
If I'm not mistaken. 3-5. We could have easily be at least 3-4 or even right now if it wasn't for those 2 game time decisions, right? The Steelers game was winnable. Nobody could say otherwise. The Steelers game was easily winnable. That was the coaching's fault because that was the adjustment at the end. The Bears, if the team was more prepared, I keep hearing this, oh, they're always bad at East Coast. Who prepares the team for East Coast? At the end of the day, you're going to be traveling. You're going to be traveling. That's the name of the game. Sorry to break it to you. Sometimes you're going to play in Germany. Sometimes you're going to play in London. Sometimes you're going to play in Mexico. It's your job to get these players prepared, and they weren't prepared against the Bears. They weren't.
And we had an opportunity to win this game. Can we be honest here? I hate to bring everybody to the table, but let's have a meeting. We could have won this game. The Lions were not playing good. They were not. The only thing that they had really popping was their running game. And we could have weathered that. Did the guy that we were afraid of all week go off on us? No. Did St. Brown, did the sun god go crazy on us? No.
They did. I will say, sorry to cut you off. They and I know this stat, and I'm gonna tell you guys why this stat is misleading, because I did see something on Twitter today. It was like the total yardage, right? It was like 100 and something for us, and it was like 500 for them. You know the reason why they got 500 yards, right, and why it looks so bad. You would think a team that puts up, you know for a fact that if you looked at let's just say you never watched the game, right, and you seen those 500 yards, you would be like, damn, that team must have put the 70 points that Miami put on the Broncos. Damn. But it wasn't the case. The reason they got so much yard is because they were backed up in their 25 every time. They went downfield and they got a field goal. At the end of the day, I'd rather have a field goal than a touchdown, right? Obviously, they shouldn't allow no points, but they did. Every time out of the 12 drives that they had, 50 yards, 50 yards, 50 yards, 60 yards, 50 yards. It adds up to 500. And at the end, you seen that this defense was gassed because we kept going three and out, 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 more three and out, a three and out again. We won the turnover battle, y'all. We had 3 takeaways. We had 3 takeaways, and you give me 1 touchdown. The defense scored the same amount of points as the offense.
And we couldn't score. There was no take that points on those turnovers either. There was no field goal or touchdowns on those takeovers.
Nope. Shout out to Sebastian Gonzalez. A shout out to Queen Raider. What up, Queen Raider? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody, Gord Peterson and everybody in here. But yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, I get it. The players are at fault. I already said it. The players are at fault. Jimmy G needs better reads. He sucks. He's garbage. I've been saying this since the offseason. I give him the benefit of the doubt because he's our quarterback. Same way I gave Stidham, but it's the reality of it. But at the end of the day, it's unexcusable to not score more than 2 touchdowns on occasion on the offensive side of the ball. It's embarrassing that Marcus Peters, the same guy that everybody says his effort is garbage, he sucks, and all this, got the same amount of points as the $100 million offense.
That part.
So at this point, bro, I don't know about you, Twuan. At this point, I accept that it's the process, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I hate it. It should have never gone to this point. We got a talented team. And yes, some may say that we still got things to turn around. We're playing the Giants next. Yeah, if we lose that one for sure, holy fuck, I don't think I'll come back on YouTube, to be honest. I'll still be a Raider fan, but at that point, fucking hell.
I'll sound like a broken record, and Eric's gonna understand what I'm gonna say when I say it, because I say it every year for the past 2 or 3 years. No matter who's under center, we gotta build.
Yeah, I said that too. Against Carr. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I say you're gonna understand it, because me and you've been preaching that same thing, whether it was Carr or whoever. No matter who's under center, the reality of this team is we gotta build.
Yeah. He said, SC Twuan, what are you guys dressing up as Halloween? I got you. I'm gonna put a brown bag over my head. I'm gonna have a sign that says "Smart Enough," and I'm gonna be posted up in front of my house. And I'm gonna have Josh McDaniels press conference playing on an overhead on a projector. So every time somebody comes in to trick or treat, they see Josh McDaniels talking, and they see me with the brown bag over my head and smarting up in the middle of my chest. Yeah. Oh my god! But you look, Eric is trying to improve his looks. What the fuck?
I'm going to act like I have a job in about 30 minutes. So that's what I'll be doing for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm just kidding you. I would never put a brown bag over my head over a team. I never done that in my 20 years of being a fan, man. And at the end of the day, it's tough. It hurts. We all got different opinions, but at the end of the day, we gotta call that out for what it is. If not, we're just gonna keep letting this mediocrity continue, man. We should have never been in this position, but it is what it is, right? If the plan is 3 years that it looks like it is, and it sucks that it's going that way because we have a talented team and we're wasting some people's careers. Let's just be honest. At the end of the day, hey, fuck it. Go get a quarterback. Go get a cornerback at the fucking draft, bro. Fuck it. Go get Bo Nix, bro. Go drag Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. I don't care. At this point, bro, this is the process, y'all. We got to accept it. I don't think McDaniels will get fired at all. Even if we lose against the Giants, I don't think he'll get fired. I think at the end of the day, like I said, Mark Davis knows that his head is on a platter if things go to shit. His head's going to be on this platter if Josh McDaniels get fired. And these are the guys, man. Eric got the Mark Davis haircut for Halloween. Hell no. But at the end of the day, these guys are swimming in money and they love it. And I'm still gonna support this team. I'm still gonna do lives. I'm not putting on a Saints jersey for anybody, asking. I'll never put on another jersey. Um, I like other players, like I like my USC guys. Obviously I like my USC guys. Not against the Raiders though. Like Monte Brown when he played against us, I wish that he didn't do shit. Which he didn't do shit. So I'm happy. Um, Besides that, they just need to smarten up, right? Same way he said, smarten up. You got 9 games left. I mean, hey, at least get some wins. I don't want to be fucking the number one pick in the NFL draft. What the number one pick of the NFL draft? The lost. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Or the second round pick of the NFL. I don't want that shit either.
Well, they got with my prediction, they only got 2 more losses to go, and I'll be correct. I said 10-7, so two more losses, and that's all we can afford. These next 9, what? How many games? 9 more games. Look, 2 more losses. We can do it.
Yeah, and I will say this. I will say this. The best player USC player played for us, Marcus Allen. That's a fact. Marcus Allen, man, go himself. I need to get a signed jersey from him. I need to go get a jersey signed from Marcus Allen though. That's my third one I'm gonna do, and soon. I will say this, y'all. I'll announce it. Soon. I don't know how soon. I hope this upcoming month in November, I get a PC myself. If anybody knows, I'm streaming through a laptop. That's why I don't have these cool graphics of like, oh my god, the right side of us is like ESPN and it has all the topics and it lightens up, and the camera is like a good quality but not the best. It could be better with the PC. Hopefully I get a PC soon to make my setup even better, and it makes the show even better, and I could start using OBS because my laptop can't run OBS. It's not that powerful. I have a MacBook Air, so it doesn't have that much of a powerful chip in order to get it. So hopefully I get a PC soon to make the content even better for you guys, man. Make a more visual, maybe put the topics above us that lights up, pretty crazy. I'm gonna try to work on that. So hopefully I get it next month. So there will be better content, coming soon. As far as it, and again, Thursday, 2 for 1 Nation podcast. We're gonna talk about the upcoming game that we got against the Giants, I believe. 1 o'clock Eastern. I mean 1 o'clock Pacific. I think we play. Hopefully we win that game. That's a winnable game. Like again, we should win it. Um, and yeah, I'm just tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of losing. This was supposed to be, how do I say it? This was supposed to be a winning season, man. And so far we're not winning. We still got games, but and I didn't really talk about the trade deadline. I mean, there's nothing really you guys missed. Just Washington let go of 2 of their defenders easily, and for a bag of chips to the Niners, and one to the Niners and one to the Chicago Bears. Kevin Byard, of course, I believe went to the Eagles, and then you got a guard that went to the Vikings, or went to, I forgot where. And then obviously, that's about it. I mean, go ahead, Twan. Any final thoughts? Any final things that you got going on? Lives, videos, a PC, Terrence, a PC. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, you guys, this game again is rough. I'm not throwing in the towel on this team. I'm still hopeful that
Yeah.
we can still win a few games, and hopefully maybe even get things going for this team. I still want to be positive about this, even though it's not as it's not pretty. Um, and I'm gonna try to stay as consistent as possible. With my content over at Raider Twuan. If you guys have not, please help me out and subscribe, and help me grow. And the same thing, those that are on Raider Twuan. If you guys have not subscribed to the SE Experience, please go ahead and do that. Thursday, I'm just gonna let you know. I might be in a different back setting, so stay tuned for that. But definitely 2 for 1 Nation podcast is going to go down, and we'll be breaking down all of that. Still same time, right? 2:30.
Yeah,
2:30.
yeah, yeah, yeah. 2:30. Latest 3 if it gets that point, but it should be 2:30.
So you guys stay tuned for that. we gonna keep it rocking. And if you guys need prayer for you and your family members, I know a lot of things are going on, especially with holidays and everything else. Hit me up on IG at Twuan, TWUAN. And also, I want to say this because it is today for those that have children, and that will be out there trick or treating and everything else in your communities and in your neighborhoods. Definitely be safe out there, and be very mindful of the candies and treats that your children are receiving. Please take a moment to scan everything in regards to our children, because there's been a lot of sick and crazy things that people are doing to something that should be safe, and fun for our children. So parents, be on your P's and Q's tonight, and definitely allow your children, with monitoring, allow them to have fun.
And be careful. The people are dangerous out here, man. You don't want your kids to be in trouble, get laced or anything, bro. And that's what people are doing nowadays, which is a horrible world we live in. But hey, just protect them. And he says 12-5 still believe. Hey, still believe, man. Hey, and we could all agree that our best chance of winning at this point, man, at the quarterback position is uh, AOC4, man, is our best chance to win at this point. Josh McDaniels believe in him, bro. At this point, what do you have to lose? Jimmy G ain't cutting it. Might as well use Aiden O'Connell and Brian Hoyer's garbage. So fuck
Hey.
Aiden O'Connell.
And Wild Turkey, yeah, I might have to do that because he ain't he must be playing with himself because he ain't coaching his team.
Yeah. Hey, facts.
For
And make
real.
sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button. Yeah, he would at least make things of the deep ball. That's fact, Terrence. You remember that throw he made in the remember he made Wilkerson in the preseason when he threw it deep under double coverage. The same play Adams was in, but it was more covered and he threw it. Come on, bro. Hey, I know it was his first chance, but hey, it's might as well. AOC gives us the best chance to win. I think we could all agree on that. And that's a fact, Oz. We could all agree on that. So hey, start Aiden O'Connell against the Giants. Perfect opportunity at home. Do it. But on that note, y'all, go hit that like button for Raider Twuan. Go hit that like button for the SC Experience, man. Subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 2,000. I'm about to hit 1,800. We're very, very close, like 5 away. So go tell people. Go, please. And on that note, y'all, thank you for your love and support. Blessings to you guys and your families. I will be back Thursday. Much love to everybody, man. Stay safe today. Also, have a happy Halloween, y'all, if you celebrate it. And, you know me, I'm going to go watch The Purge. That's my favorite thing to do on Halloween. The Purge is my favorite movie. And, remember to stay safe out there. Don't drink and drive. And always tell your loved ones you love them because life is too short. And hey, on that note, y'all, this was the SC Experience, aka boy Eric, and my co host for today, Raider Twuan in the building. And we are out. Peace.